Hi, hello and welcome to Sandy's Cricket Updates. In this video, we are going to be looking at the new rules that are being implemented to Big Bash Season 10. What are the rules going to be, how it's going to change the course of the game, and what does it really mean? The three new rules are going to be the Power Surge, Bash Boost, and the X Factor. What does the Power Surge means? So there used to be 6 overs of mandatory power play, which was from the first over to the sixth over. Now it's getting split into two. 4 overs of mandatory power play and the rest 2 overs of power play can be chosen by the batting team anytime they want after the 11th over. So which early in the one day format we really had a 3 power plays where mandatory power play would be of 10 overs. The rest 2 will be split into 5 and 5 will be taken by the bowling team and batting team when they need. And once they started using those batting power plays as per the 45th to 50th over, then there was a revised rule. They have to take it before the 40th over, and finally they all changed it up into 3 power plays of 10 overs of mandatory power play, and second power play will be between the 11th and 40th over with 4 fielders outside, and the last power play of the last 10 overs they can have up to 5 players outside the circle. But now here the case is completely different, that 2 overs can be taken by the batting team anytime after the 11th over. Also in the T20 format, just two fielders are allowed outside the circle. Imagine a chasing side who needs 20 after last overs and just going to be power play. What's it going to mean for the bowling team? What does they really have? How can a team with can defend those 20 runs in the last 2 overs? It's already been T20, been a batsman's game, but now it's turning much more into the favor of the batsman. That's a really a concern for the bowling team. They need to think a lot about it, because generally if in a power play, if a guy who can swing the really ball well will bowl the 2 overs and give you the few overs, but with the old ball you can't expect much of a swing as well, and it's really going to make things more tough. It's going to affect the team combination, everything, because there used to be few bowlers in team who can really swing the ball, who is really good with the new ball and is not much effective with the older ball. They used to be their impact, but those kind of bowlers, how are they going to be utilized in the death? Will that be? It's going to be a big concern. I'm not a fan of this power surge, but here it's going to really make the game towards the batsmen. It's going to be really tough. The second rule will be the bash boost. What's the bash boost? A match is awarded with 4 points. Now the points is going to be split 3 and 1. And the 1 point will be awarded on the performance of the first 10 overs. If a team batting first scores a score of 74, the team batting and finally finishes with 180 or 90. It depends on the next 10 overs. They're just making a bigger impact and they're finishing with 180. Let's assume that. But when the team chasing the total, if they score 1 run ahead of them, but they lose the game, the 1 point belongs to the chasing side. The entire landscape of the game is going to change a bit, because teams generally used to take their time and build and regroup and score plenty of mountain of runs at the end stages of the game. Now the team needs to be more careful and aware that the first 10 overs you're going to lose a point. You need to stay ahead of the game it's well and clear that you need to stay ahead of the game at every given point of time, which is going to award you points. So it's really crucial to make use of the first 4 over of the power play, and the next 2 over will be at the second half of the innings. That is going to make a bigger impact. No net run rate or nothing or such of sort. It's going to be like this. A team which really has the better score after the 10th over mark will get a point, and if they go on to win the game, they'll get the 4 point. Even if they lose for staying ahead of the game in the 10th over, they will be awarded with the point. And the last is going to be the X factor rule, which is going to be one of the most exciting, most strategic move that's going to be getting implemented in the format. Because after the 10th over of the first innings, deciding on the course of the game, you could replace a player in the initial 11 with another person. The another person should be named at the toss when you give the team sheets to the officials during the toss. Now the team sheet should consist of 13 members squad. Depends on the performance in the first 10 overs. If they need a extra batsman or a bowler of their choice, who should be named at the 12th or 13th man, can come in. Also, that the player who is going to be replaced from the 11 should have not made an impact in the game. Either he should not bowl more than an over, or he should not have come into bat. Once he gets replaced, he is out of the game. The new player will fill his spot, will fill his shoes. He will have the power to bat, the bowl, whatever it's going to be in the remaining part of the game. He is going to be the one who is going to compete in the game for the replaced person. Just like football, when they can substitute a fielder at any moment. Here the restrictions are, you can really make a change. Because if imagine a team is struggling at 63 for 5 in the first 10 overs and you really need a batsman, if you consider someone as a sixth bowling option and an all-rounder, he can't create much of an impact in the rest 10 overs. You can just get him replaced with a batsman, a quality batsman. It decides on your choice who is going to be named in the team sheet. And also you will now play a bowler shot. You are going to play an additional batsman. And also, if I consider you, we would have heard a thing, good toss to lose. When the captain or the players are not able to access the nature of the wicket, they will just think of bowling first and let the team batting first do their thing, and then from there they will assess and make the game plan. For that kind of a surfaces, this X factor rule of making a new player to play for a guy who is already in the 11 will work fine. But this is going to be a biggest tactical strategical move that's going to come into play in the course of the game. I'm pretty much interested how the team are going to strategize and who is going to make the most impact of this particular rule in the Big Bash season 10. Because it might be as you will get into a scenario where you might play a batsman shot, you can play a bowler shot. It depends on the first 10 overs, the way you assess the condition, how much quick you assess the condition. You can come up with a better strategy of better player who can do a magnificent job instead of a player who is going to be in the level. And also an overseas can be replaced with an overseas, and the local player can be replaced with the local player, and that's how the rule is going to be. So there's not going to be a confusion in that asset either. Three overseas are out in the Australian Big Bash League. So a replacement for an overseas would be an overseas, and for an Australian it will be an Australian. That's how the rule is going to work. Let's imagine another scenario that a team has scored 120 in the first 10 overs, and they know the number 6 batsman they have gone. He will not be able to be a part of the game, because even if they have 10 wickets, the other batsmen can manage the job, and they can choose a bowler who to defend the particular total. Because the 2 overs of power play will be in the later part of the game, so you can go with another bowler to give the extra grip or something like that. You can hold your best bowler to bowl in the power play, and you can use that extra bowler you're bringing in the team for a batsman to make a strategy. and that's how the rule is going to work. I'm excited to see how it's going to play out, how the captain, how the coach, who is going to make a call on this, who is going to be the more uh, analyst, the most statistician who's going to play a role. Let's wait and see.